Hello and welcome to this carp boat building video. This is part 1, and in front of me I have an old boat called Flipper 450 HT or hardtop. I think it's from the 70s, so it's about 50 years old, and I bought it quite cheap. And what I have done so far, I have stripped it down on everything I don't want in the boat. The seats, the stereo, the speakers and so on. And that followed when I bought it. And what I have left is the hardtop and, well, the bottom of the boat, or the hull. And why did I bought this boat for this particular reason? Well, as you can see, it has a special shape hull called a catamaran or trimaran hull, and it's not only one keel, it's 3 keels, and the biggest plus with that is it make the boat very stable in the water. The downside of it is that it's don't take the waves as well as an ordinary hull. It doesn't cut through the waves, it just well, it bams in the waves instead of cutting it. But for this project that wouldn't be a problem, because I don't want a big motor on this boat when it's finished. It's made for between 40 or 60 horsepower, but I would probably use an electric motor, 55 pounds or something like that. Perhaps an engine that runs on gas, but maybe 6-8 horsepower. I'm not sure yet. But the plan is to build a completely flat floor and extend the hardtop so there will be room left for a bed chair inside of it. That's the plan, at least. It's, as you can see, it's quite a big project. It's not made in a day. But I have not lost hope yet. Maybe I will in a couple of weeks, I'm not sure. And why did I start this project? Well, a friend of mine called Birger Holmqvist, who is famous old carp legend, at least in Sweden, and now he has written a book and translated it to English. So he bought a boat like this a couple of years ago and started to build it for carp fishing. And that's why I got inspired with this project. So, well, less talking, more building. I have tools and polyester and fiberglass and so forth all around the garage here. It's a mess, but it's a funny mess. Right now it's fun. It goes up and down, this project. Sometimes I'm just sick of it and I want to throw it all away, and the next day I'm very excited to get moving. But well, when I come back with part 2, I hopefully have a floor and started to extend the hardtop. Maybe. I have more boats outside that I work with, so maybe they will take up more time than I think, but well, see you later. Right, this is part 2 of the building progress, or process at least. I'm almost finished with the floor, and I have used 10mm thick boards and just painted the underside of them with polyester, and on the top I have used fiberglass and polyester, one layer, and now I have started with the extension of the hard top. As you can see, the original hard top doesn't cover the entire bed chair, so I want to extend it and make it completely waterproof, and I'm not sure if I should put an door on the exit or just to cover it with some, I don't know, just a soft cover of some waterproof kind. And the rest of the boat down here is 120 centimeters long and 140 centimeters wide. So I think it would be enough for enough room to stand and fish, or what do you want to call it? And I have plans to put on some bag stick holders in the corners, and maybe build a higher seat for the engine. And the floor on this part, I haven't decided exactly how I want to build it yet, but I want it to when it, all water I want the water to run through the floor here. So this is the wet part, and inside it will, the goal is to make that completely dry, so you can keep your gear and clothes and so forth completely waterproof if you decide to fish from the boat several days. Right, well, it's now late August, and the autumn is not far away. It's a wonderful time of the year to be outside, but it's not a wonderful time of the year to build boats, because the temperature is falling and it rains more than it does in the summer. The last couple of days it has rained almost every day, and the temperature now on the days is about 15 degrees. It's better to use fiberglass and polyester in temperatures at 20 degrees and above. When you use it in direct sunlight, it hardens faster, but I think it's better that it's hardened faster than not at all. So it's better to work in direct sunlight than in rainy conditions or in too low temperatures. Well, not so much more to say right now. It's a long way if you want to rock and roll. If you want to build your own carp boat, but I have not lost hope yet. There is still a possibility that this will be an excellent boat for overnight angling, carp fishing, eel fishing, perhaps roach and rod. I hope I have room enough for a small chair and some feeder rods. And this boat is quite shallow in the front, so it's easy to go up a bit on the land side or the shore, so you have a more stable boat to fish from than just by anchors. Right, see you later. This is just a short part from the inside, what it looks like from in here, and this is just trial and error building at the moment. This is not the final solution, but yeah, it could work actually. It's room for the bed chair, and it's room to sit right up, and it's also room for quite a lot of luggage, and if you want to, you can build holders for rods and so on under these sides here. So, well, yeah, I'm positive. Right, the work goes on slowly, but right now I have made a first solution on the door, so it's now functional but not perfect, and I have made two pieces of wood to fasten screws and bits and pieces. Perhaps they will work as a holder for the rod pods that I have seen. I think it's Daiwa that make rod pods for boats like this, so you can it's mounted on an arm, so you can fasten the arm on a piece like this boat looks like right now. Well, I have started with the rear motor seat. It's called akterspegel in Swedish, which means rear mirror. So this is the rear mirror, and as you can see, it was quite a lot of old holes drilled through this wall here, and the result of that is that water will leak in and the wood inside will suck it up, and then it starts to rotten slowly but steady. So I'm gonna remove all the old fiberglass and all the old plywood and build up with new material with boards like this, thicker boards, maybe 2 pieces of 12 millimeters or something like that. And I will also increase the height so it will be suitable for long rigged motors and electric motors as well. I don't want it to be too short, because when you trail the boat, well, when you put it in the water, the angle will be a problem. So if this part is too low, the water will flush over it. So I want to increase that a bit, about 10-15 centimeters maybe. Right, it's not finished by far, but maybe a step in the right direction. Right, this is the first board. I think it would be wise to add another one. This is a 10 millimeters thickness, and I also have a 15 millimeters board to add up. I used one big piece of that quite thick fiberglass and 2 smaller parts of the same material in the middle, and later on I will build up this part here with fiberglass also, so it gets an even surface. And I want this part to be stronger, so I can use a bigger engine if I want to travel longer distances and so on. But I think I mostly will use an electric motor, so it shouldn't be too much pressure on this part, but I think it's wise to make it strong to be on the safe side. The rest of the boat I haven't done so much with right now, but well, yeah, with a lot of hard work and some luck, I maybe the project might be not completely finished, but almost finished this year, maybe. And now the back seat for the engine, or back plate, or whatever you want to call it. It's almost finished. I think I should add another layer of fiberglass to make it even stronger and even more waterproof. It's wood, and wood, as you know, will suck up water and start to rotten. So the more waterproof you can get it, and the more you can seal it, the better. And this part I will build up so I get a more even surface. Oh. And I'm not sure how I will fix this part. I don't think it looks so good right now. Maybe I'll add a plate like this to make it more even. And I don't think I shall paint it this year. I think I will wait till next year with that project. But maybe if I have time and energy, I will start building the floor, and that would be made of what do you call it? Planks, and with a layer of this rug or something on top of it. And this material is good because the water runs through it very easy. So you would get a surface that is not slippery, and it looks alright, and it dries off quite fast. So the water will stay down here. And I'm not sure if I shall make it so the water can stay in all the three compartments, or just the one in the middle. There are both downsides and upsides on that, I guess. If I leave it like this, it's easier to fix holes and so on. Just pick up the loose floor if I want to change something. So yeah, this Works quite well. It's not perfect. Might need a little work on it, but yeah, I think this could be a really nice boat for carp fishing and feeder fishing, float fishing. Carp, bream, pike, eel, rudd, roach, and so on. Yeah. There's dust all over the boat, all over the room, and all over me. What I have done lately is I have started to grind the floor, or what do you want to call it, and have found some old holes. I have grinded them up and gonna fix them properly. There might be small holes left, even if it's all right now. It could never hurt to fix them properly. The engine seat is 95% finished. Some small work, but it's quite steady. On the sides, this part, not sure what to do. Maybe it's just me, but I don't like the look of it. But of course it doesn't affect the function of the boat, but yeah, maybe I should put some rod holders or something like that to even out that part. It's the same problem on the other side. But all in all, I'm quite satisfied so far, actually. I'm not sure if I will paint the sides or cover them with that rag-like material. But that's gonna be a later problem. It's now late October and it's about 7 or 8 degrees outside, and the plastic job gets harder and harder to do. Actually, it doesn't get harder because it's harder to get the plastic to harden. So I must use heat lights and heat fans and so on to make it harden properly. But it goes on. I really looking forward to use the boat next year and try it out. I think that would feel quite wonderful, especially the first time I put it in the water and see if it floats and see how it floats, if it's heavy on the front or in the back, or if it feels unstable and so on. But well, yeah, I think it's gonna work just perfectly, but it's hard to tell. Now the floor is almost complete. Looks quite okay. The plan is to add like a rug or something like that kind of material on top of it, but it's quite steady. and I'm gonna try to make it as quiet as possible. Add some soft material under the boards, but it's actually not too bad. It's steady enough for 100 kilos or 200 and about 20 pounds or something like that. I tried to sit on it with a chair, and I think it's big enough to fish with 2 feeder rods, or if you are if you're float fishing, I think it's room enough for 2 people if you don't bring a lot of gear, or if you put the gear inside the cabin. So yeah, I think it's gonna be quite okay.